What's up guys, it's Stu, and this is how you make a custom gauge pod for an Ep3.
Okay everybody, here we go with our new hit record, Sugar, Sugar! Sugar.
On a serious note, I did actually make it properly, but it'd be that long and boring I couldn't be arsed, so there you go. Right, we've got a good picture down here. Oh yes. So there we are. The hose saw that I had to cut the hose out of the back actually blunted on me, so I had to die grind some of them out and the rest of them are like 32s, which is near bother. This is my mounting system here. 2 brackets welded on the back with a welded 6mm nut. And they're all at an angle because the gauge is going right there. So if I take my 6mm out, these are going to get sanded and sprayed this week, so should be able to get them on. And then this week I'll try and get all my gauges wired. But now I've got this done, this is the biggest thing. I've got 2 holes drilled in the actual pocket there, and I'm going to drill a bigger hole here. If I ever come to sell the car and not fit these gauges, what I'm going to do, I'll just get a mat cut, stick it over all the holes. So we have this little edge corner piece that sits in this corner here, and then we've got the little groove that sits in the groove there, and it fits. Obviously these, when they get bolted up, it'll pull it really tight and then there won't be any gaps on the top. And there we are. Nice and solid, not going anywhere, and that's only finger tight. That's not, because that's kept in same as that side. My 2 brackets are just here, and there we go. So there's a picture that I'll post now of the gauges all in. I'm thinking about doing them all a bit so the needles are pointing down, so they're slanted towards me. I think it'll look a bit cooler like that. Anyway, so these are 2.5-inch 2AB, and what I've done, because my gauges are 60mm, I got 4 that are 60mm. I've cut a slot in them and then opened them up and then welded them all to the actual base. And then the slots have helped me keep the gauge in, because if I get the end and I bend them in, that's what holds the gauge into this, so it doesn't move or rattle or anything. The end one, which is an AFR meter, the AEM is 52mm, so I had to weld a band on inside, and the actual gauge meter grips on the inside of there, so it sits there. The only thing I wish I did was cut these a bit shorter, these 3 there, and then left the 2 big ones. Probably cut that one a bit shorter, but because of the angles it seems alright. Like I said, it's that's what the view is from the driver's side if you're looking. If you can see, I think you can, yeah. My idea was I really wanted them in the wing mirror up there, but because I've got 5 gauges, it would have ended up right across these 4 there, and I could have put it across them 2, but every mirror that I really need, because it's really good view, is the one that I'd need to stick gauges on, so I've just left that for the time being. So yeah, there you are. That's a custom Ep3 gauge mount. Obviously if you're this angle you're not going to see any of them, but if you come out a bit you can see all 5. So I've got in these water temp, oil pressure, boost, AFR. Reason I've got water temp is a lot of people have asked me why I've got water temp. It's not just because I wanted more gauges, it's because my radiator is so small, and so many people have seen the picture and be like, oh fucking hell, you're not worried about that. I weren't worried. Don't you fucking mind about me. I was not worried at all. Everyone else was worried, and then the worrying got me worried. So I just want to keep a better eye on than what the gauge is on the dash. I want to be able to see the degrees. So I think the gauge one on the dash is in the head as well. So I want the top water hose, so it'll probably show it hotter than it does there anyway. Oil pressure, there is no oil pressure gauge. I need one for the turbo just to make sure I maintain oil pressure. Boost, there is no boost gauge, so I need a boost. An oil temp, I just fancy like having oil temp. I just want to keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't overheat. And that's it. And the AFR is just for tuning. When it goes crisp, it just makes it a bit better. You can get the map a bit better with a proper AFR gauge with a wideband Lambda. That, boys and girls, ladies and gents, is it. So I'm going to get these sandblasted, get them painted, and then I can get on with wiring my gauges. I'm going to get on with wiring my gauges this week, so I'll be doing all that. Then that's the gauges all done. I've got a boost controller that's going to fit around here, I think, or on this side. Apart from that, everything else is done. So, aye. Shit hot. Not bad for no fucking ruler. I don't use a ruler or a measuring tape or anything. I just wing it, do everything by eye, and seem to do quite all right. I've been Stu. Cheers for liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that shit. I will see you in the next episode, hopefully, of Blown Daily, when I get all these gauges wired up. Cheers, guys. I'll see you in a bit.